Hello and welcome to the Flagstaff County Podcast. I'm your host, Cary Castagna, Communications Coordinator for Flagstaff County. Joining me today is special guest, Flagstaff County Reeve, Don Kroetch. Welcome, Don. Glad you could be here today.
Thanks, Cary. I enjoy coming in.
In the immortal words of Bob Dylan in 1964, "Oh, the times they are a-changin'." In this case, "Oh, the boundaries they may be a-changin'." Come gather round, voters, wherever you roam, and admit that the county is rethinking its zones, and the Reeve says it's time for an electoral boundary review. The boundaries could soon be rearranging, so heed the review and let your voice sound. Oh, the boundaries, they may be a-changin'. The council is calling, it's time for debate to ensure that decisions are made fair and straight, with possibly fewer divisions, but governance great. The winds of the county are waging, so whether you're east or whether you're west, oh, the boundaries, they may be a-changin'. Now the past, it was stable, the lines, they were clear, but change in our county, it's growing quite near. With fairness and progress, they're setting the gear to shape how our votes will be counted. But don't fear the shift or the shape of the space, or the boundaries, they may be a-changin'. Come, citizens, rise, and let's give it a voice. The process is here, and we've all got a choice to speak for our future. We all must rejoice and guide how this land will be measured. So don't stand aside or stay out of the fray. Oh, the boundaries, they may be a-changin'. Calling, the future is bright, with possibly fewer divisions, but keeping it right. An improved Flagstaff will soar to new heights as the pages of history are turning. So come on and gather, shape this great Flagstaff land. Oh, the boundaries, they may be a-changin'. What do you think of that?
Well, I think there's need to be a little bit of work on that, but that was very well done.
Can you believe that I've never taken any singing classes?
That is hard to believe.
Never had a voice coach? Can you believe it?
I'm glad your parents didn't waste the money. You're listening to the official podcast of Flagstaff County. All right, well, this is serious now. This is important because we have a very important topic to discuss today. It's called the Electoral Boundary Review. And let's get right into it. The first question for you today is, can you explain what initiated the current Electoral Boundary Review and why is it being considered at this time? Actually, it started about a year and a half ago. Every year, council and staff, we get together and review all the programs and services offered. We review every service the county provides, make sure it's effective and efficient.
And some of those servers we enhance, and some of them we maybe tweak a little bit to better serve our community. One of the councillors came up with the idea, why don't we review what the council, our legislative duties are? And out of that conversation came, it's about time we review our boundaries. We haven't done it since 1968. And since 68, a lot of things changed. I know the technology that we use now at the council chambers is quite a bit different. I can't imagine in 1968 trying to contact all the councillors on a party line. Now we do that with a click of a button. And that kind of stuff really makes council work more efficiently.
Yeah, that's 56 years. So that was when 1968 was when the county became established as a county.
Yeah, that's quite amazing.
Yeah. So yeah, the population has definitely gone down a little bit over the last 56 years.
That's another reason why we looking into our boundaries. In 1968, the population of Flagstaff County was 5,997. The latest census information we have, the county's population is 3,694, and that includes the two hamlets that we recently got. So that is a population decline of 38%. Another reason why we looked into changing the boundaries is that the population has shifted within the county. We have some councillors that represent about 19.3% of the population of Flagstaff, and the next councillor beside him is 10.5. So that really has changed, and we would like to keep it more equal, that each councillor represents the same number of residents.
Can you talk a little bit about the rationale behind reducing divisions? That's one of the options is looking at going from 7 divisions to 5 divisions. Can you just let people know what the rationale behind that was?
Yeah. When we decided to do this, we wanted to give the public options. One of the options, of course, is remain the same. Another option is kind of changing the population, the boundaries of the 7, and just changing the population, the boundaries, so every councillor in every zone has the same amount of people. And another option, we thought we go to 5 divisions. The reason for 5 divisions, council saw it, is we've had a lot of trouble attracting candidates to the elections. I know the last couple elections there was a lot of acclamations, and we're having trouble getting people interested in it. The kind of thought behind that, if we increase the area of each division, maybe we'll have more people step up for that councillor position. And an outcome, even just this discussion, is interest in the election. It would be a great outcome if we had competitive races in each division, whether it's 5 or 7. We want people engaged and have more diverse voices around the table.
Yeah, and get the best representation. And 5 isn't a bad number, though, because 5 for just under 4,000 people, those are still pretty good ratios, eh?
Exactly. When we looked at our neighboring counties, Beaver County runs with 5, and they have quite a bit larger population.
Oh, they do, yeah.
In that discussion, I've talked to the Reeve and I've talked to other councillors and asked, what are the challenges with 5? And they really couldn't come up with anything concrete. They say it works well, and it works the same as 7. It just that there's only 5 around the table.
Yeah.
When you look at bigger municipalities like even the city of Camrose, they have thousands of people served with a small number of councillors. Like each councillor in the larger centers represents thousands of people, and we're talking about hundreds.
Yeah, so we have pretty good representation out here in Flagstaff County. So let's move on to public consultation. Can you talk about that process a little bit as far as how we're going to be incorporating public feedback into this whole review?
Council decided on giving 3 options to the public. Option 1 was 5 divisions based on balanced population. Option 2 is 7 divisions based on balanced residents. And option 3 was 7 divisions, no changes. Having stakeholders involved in this decision-making process is something we really wanted to emphasize. We wanted to reach out to the people we serve and see how they feel what is the best way to serve their needs. So we really started this process in May and June when we reached out to the public for a municipal census, so we were the most accurate information we could for making up the boundaries. Then once we have all that information in hand, we sent it out to an outside source to redraw the boundaries. This is something we didn't invent this new process. One of our municipal partners down south just did a municipal boundary review. So we gained a lot of that information that they used and put it to our municipal boundary review. Some of the criteria we use to redraw the boundaries were we wanted easily identifiable boundaries. Wherever possible, division boundaries will be easily identifiable to the public by utilizing roadways, significant natural and man-made barriers such as rivers and highways or railways. We wanted the least number of changes. Division proposals developed for council in consultation with the public should involve the fewest changes possible to accomplish the required adjustments. Maintaining historical community cohesiveness is a primary goal through this process. And we tried to make the boundaries block-shaped divisions. We really focus on the rural residents. As a community, as a village or a town within the Flagstaff boundaries, they have no influence on county council. So we kind of pulled them aside and just worked on the rural residents around that, knowing that there is a lot of population around these centers. They're just normal way people build close to towns.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, but I can tell you right now that we've had 89 responses so far to the survey online, and it is the vast majority, 58.4%, are favoring 5 divisions based on balanced population. In second place is the 7 divisions based on balanced residences. That's at 23.6%. And then in third place is the option to remain as status quo and don't make any changes to the current 7 divisions, and that's at 18%. So people seem to want some change, and they want to maybe reduce the number of councillors, the number of divisions.
Yeah, that's interesting. We didn't really know how the public would feel about that, and we really want to gauge the public and make our decisions based on that.
Does that surprise you, though?
The 5, it does, actually. Not that that's a good or a bad thing. Change is tough, and that was really surprising that people are wanting to change that dramatically.
And I should point out, just from the 89 responses, almost 80% of those responses are from rural Flagstaff County. 12.4% is from the hamlet of Strome or Galahad. And then just under 8% are listed as other, so they're not in rural Flagstaff or in one of the hamlets. So they're outside of our jurisdiction.
Yeah, we're really looking for feedback, and we're trying to make it as easy as possible to people to respond to the survey. We have a very strong online presence on Facebook and Twitter and at our own webpage. We do it through print media, through our newsletter that just went out today or yesterday, and the community press has a good section on that. And to respond, it's simple. You just click on the link on either Facebook or Twitter, or drop off or mail the printed portion at Flagstaff County. You can always email us at publicinput@flagstaff.ab.ca for your results, or if you have any questions or concerns about this process, and we would answer them as quickly as possible.
Yeah, we're trying to be as transparent as possible, so just giving people an opportunity to voice their opinion, no matter what their favorite platform is, whether it's Facebook or Twitter, like you mentioned, or if they frequent the website, or if they enjoy reading the newspaper or the newsletter in print. So just a variety of ways for people to respond and let their voice be known. So just wanted to talk a little bit more about the 5 divisions, since that is a favorite of respondents to the survey so far. Can you talk about the cost savings for the municipality? Because I guess that's probably the big thing right now, is that obviously reducing the number of divisions will result in cost savings for Flagstaff County.
Yeah, that's right. So this is just another piece of information to make an informed decision. The possible reduction to 5 councillors does have a budget implications. The estimated cost for a single councillor, which includes the wages, compensation, travel, conferences, benefits, and laptop, is about $56,000 per year. And over 4 years, that's $227,000. Times that by 2 councillors, and then over a 4-year period, which is the term of a councillor, it'd be $455,000. So that is a significant amount.
That adds up, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is another reason when we look at programs and surveys, we're always finding ways for efficiency, how to better serve without increasing the costs. And this is one option that's out there. So, yeah.
Yeah, we don't want to sway people either way, but also the argument on the other side is that, 5 councillors, that's 2 fewer voices around the table. So it's really up to what people see as important right now, and and definitely that's going to play a big part in what you guys ultimately decide, right, as council.
Oh, absolutely. This survey is going to carry a lot of weight around our council chamber in making a decision. And what we want to do is get all the information out there, and that each individual make their own decision, which is best way to be served. There is no wrong decisions in this; they're just different ones. And please complete a survey and tell us what you think the best way we can serve you better.
Yeah, and we should also mention the public open house, because that's an important part of this whole process. On October 1st, that's a Tuesday, October 1st, between 4 and 7 p.m., people can stop by and talk to your counselor face to face and just let your opinion be known on this issue.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the best way to get more informed information is talk face to face. We try to get all the information out there on the website and on Twitter and that, but there's also lingering questions. And please come to our open house on that Tuesday between 4 and 7, because the deadline for input is on October 2nd.
Yeah, the next day. And I know we talked about this before. It's not maybe the most exciting issue, but it's an important one.
Yeah.
It is it's important, and it has implications that are going to start next year and during the election in October. So
yeah, it is not a very exciting topic for sure. But at the end of the day, no matter what we choose, 5, 7, balanced, or keep it the same, you will still have representation no matter where you live. The boundaries may change or they may not change, but you will have representation through your councillor. It's only one day. This really affects the election day, the boundaries. After that, you can call any of the councillors to voice your concerns. We're here to serve the entire region. So we still want your feedback to make the best decision possible.
Yeah, for sure. And so you mentioned Beaver County went through a similar process. Do you know of anybody else? Or?
Yeah, not really. I know it's quite common to have municipal boundary reviews. A lot of the reasons for that is population growth. So ours is kind of a little different than some of the other municipalities. We've seen both at the provincial and federal level, those boundaries change every election, it seems like. And just for equal representation, I think it's key that you have equal representation with your councillors, and that's the main force behind it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we did talk a little bit before we started as far as the challenges. And I just think the biggest challenge is just getting people excited about this and just getting people engaged where they're going to, feel that they need to let us know their opinion. And I just think, right now we need more people to respond to our survey.
Yeah. And as a counselor, we don't know what we don't know. And so when we don't know anything, we're looking for direction, reach out to the public. Yeah. That carries a ton of weight at the council chambers. As 5 or 7 councillors in the future, we really want to gauge what the public wants. No matter how much you're in the community, you need that formal feedback so we can make informed decisions what's best for our communities.
So yeah, again, people can go to the website, click the link, and then let your voice be known by choosing one of the 3 options. And there's also the public input email address, and that's publicinput@flagstaff.ab.ca. There is also a ballot that's going out in this week's community press that you can fill out and either drop it off at the Flagstaff County Administration Building or mail it in, and the address is there. What else am I missing? I know we got so many ways to do it, but oh yeah, we got the public open house. Can't forget that.
Yeah.
October 1st. People are welcome to stop by between 4 and 7 p.m. We have cupcakes with a 5 on them, and we have cupcakes with a 7, so you can choose which cupcake you want.
I know the last time we had cupcakes at a public input, they went quite quickly.
Oh yeah, yeah. But it's just something to nibble on while you talk to your counselor. Yeah, I mean, the bottom line is we want to hear from people. I mean, we pride ourselves in being transparent and just trying to get as much information out there as possible to the people. And on an issue like this, we really do need some feedback.
So the process of the electoral boundary change is clearly set out in the MJA. We are currently in the public consultation stage. Once we've completed all the information gathering, the results of the survey will be presented to council at a special council meeting on October 7th. Then, if needed, we will have the first reading of the bylaw to set the new boundaries. Then there is a 60-day petition period. And after that 60 days, at our December 18th meeting, we'll host a public meeting at our council chambers to consider the new electoral boundary bylaw.
Sorry, and that petition period is if someone has any objections, or?
Yeah, absolutely. If there's opposition to changing the boundaries, there's an opportunity to get a petition within the community and bring it to council chambers as another form of input.
Yeah.
Council will obviously take that petition into consideration, the survey results, before we move ahead with any electoral boundary change.
Yeah, but it's kind of one last chance, I guess, to...
Yeah, and it's kind of a cooling off period.
Yeah.
People can rethink maybe their decisions, and maybe some more information comes forward. We want to make this decision the right way, so we're not rushing it. And it's clearly stated out in the MJ, so we're following that to the T with the timeline. We'll make that decision at our December 18th meeting to proceed with electoral boundary changes or not, because we have to have it passed by December 31st to have it implemented for our next election in October.
Yeah, and that's coming up quick. Eh?
Mm-hmm.
That's just over a year away. So yeah, it's quite the process, but definitely a worthy one, though, don't you say?
Yeah, I think so. This was really overdue. 1968 was a long time ago.
Oh, yeah.
And there are municipalities that do this quite regularly. I was surprised how many municipalities do this on almost a semi-annual basis. And so it was time. We're trying to do it in the most informed and most transparent way. And this is how we hope to come to a conclusion that is acceptable for all our residents.
Don, I don't mean to rub it in, but I wasn't around in 1968.
Yeah. Oh, you're just a kid.
Yeah. It's been a while, but yeah, is there anything else you want to tell the people out there that may be listening and just want to know anything more about this process?
I think the overall goal of this whole process is to have our boundaries reflective of our population, to increase participation within our elections. No matter what the boundary will be, every stakeholder will have a representation at council chambers. And even through this discussion, if we have competitive races in each one of our divisions, that would be an awesome outcome for us.
So it's really going to make a difference at election time, as you said.
Well, I sure hope so. I really
hope so.
hope so.
Yeah, we hope so, yeah.
There is many people within the community that have the skill set and the capabilities to bring new ideas to the table and do a very good job as a councillor for Flagstaff County. And I encourage those people to look at running in the next election. Reach out to your councillor now, or come to a council meeting, or gain some information, because there is good people out there, and they can bring a lot to the table. New ideas is always good.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thanks, Don. I just want to reiterate, don't forget, our public open house is happening Tuesday, October 1st, right here at the Flagstaff County Administration Building. It starts at 4 p.m. and runs until 7 p.m., so don't you dare miss it. And thank you, Don, for taking time out of your schedule to join me today. As always, it's been a pleasure having you on the Flagstaff County podcast.
Yeah, one last thing. If you want a cupcake at the public input, you better come early.
Well, I mean, I'll try not to have too many.
Yeah.
But, by 6,
Yeah.
all bets are off.
Yeah. Once it starts winding down, the cupcakes really start disappearing.
Yeah. All right. Well, you take care. All the best.
Yeah. Thanks, Cary. Thanks for this opportunity.
Hey!